Well, what Arne Slot has said today is that it's already a big summer because he's extended the contracts of Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk. But as Patrick asked him, what he's given a hint to is that he is talking about players coming in over the summer. Where do you think they need to strengthen, even though they've won the league by 15 points at this stage?
Yeah, but that will mean nothing at the start of next season. You know, the whole idea now for Liverpool is to kick on and back that up. You don't want the league title and go, that's it, and relax for a few years. That's what all the great teams do in the top team. So that's the next challenge for Liverpool. They've already obviously got a goalkeeper coming in. You're thinking maybe possibly a left back, a centre half. There's any injuries, of course, and potentially I would say a striker. But obviously you've got to go and get quality one. So I still think the manager will definitely be looking at strengthening, of course, but it's easier said than done. But done a great position. They've won the league. It'll be a big attraction to lots of players. He's a quality manager. Players who might be interested in coming to Liverpool will be looking at the top players already staying there and committing to the club. So that's all pluses. It's not a matter of going out and getting these quality players. That will improve Liverpool, because I've said it many times before, win the league's fantastic. You've got to back it up again next year. As
Roy said, Mamardashvili's coming in the summer. That's already been agreed. Where else do you think that they need to strengthen, either in terms of their first choice or in terms of backup?
I think it's, you know, they're certainly an attacker, for sure. I think a striker, you know, Jota is been the main man as long as Luis Diaz and Darwin, but I think that they probably do need another striker, potentially backup for Mo, a player who can learn from him and come in the squad on that right side. And then, of course, you've got to lock up Konate as well. I know that maybe we could talk about them potentially bringing in defensive help. We talked about at the start of the season whether they're going to bring in a defensive midfielder, and Gravenberch has stepped up, so whether they're still going to be thirsty for that, I'm unsure. But certainly I think signing Konate is very important, because, you know, his partnership with Virgil van Dijk's been key to the team's success. So tying him down to a contract, I think, is the next thing they need to do imminently, because we've seen the talk this season around the contracts, and, you know, Trent, Virg, Mo. We don't want that going on with Konate next season. So I think that's an important signing for the football club, to have that consistency in defence. It's always good to have a partnership that you can rely on and trust, and have that triangle with the goalkeeper. So I think that's an important signing for them.
The name that keeps being linked with Liverpool and won't go away is Kerkez from Bournemouth. If that is a signing that happens, is it somebody who comes in and plays instead of Andy Robertson, or who shadows him throughout the season and learns from him in the way that Daniel's suggesting that somebody could come in and do that with Mohamed Salah?
I certainly wouldn't write off Andy Robertson just yet. He's still a top player, great professional. I would make sure that I keep him, even if you do bring in Kerkez, and have a little bit of competition. There's no problem with that. Kerkez has been amazing for Bournemouth. I've watched him since he first come in. He's aggressive. He's like a younger version, and that's going to be the key. I'm sure that, you know, Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards will be looking, who can we now bring in? Because you've also got to think, although it's great news that Mohamed Salah signed and Virgil van Dijk, it's 2-year contracts. How can we find the next ones? How can we find the next commanding young centre-back? How can we find the next Mohamed Salah? That's not going to be easy, because replacing them, they're fundamental, they're so important for this team. But they are players that you've got to look to do. Ekatike's had a mention for Liverpool, a player that, you know, as a striker. It hasn't worked out for Darwin Núñez. I felt really positive about when he first signed. That might be a player that we might see that's surplus requirements at some point, and then they bring in another striker in his place. But it doesn't need major surgery. He just won the title.
And isn't it nice to be able to sit and talk about it rather than have to go and find those next stars of the future?